Welcome back, segment number 3 here on the Ram Report with Steve Fairchild. Brian Roth back with you, and for the second consecutive week, we bring you another CSU professor as John Olienyk joins us on the program. In fact, John, well, he taught Steve Fairchild back in the day. John, thanks for joining us. Appreciate that. Tell us how you got into teaching.
Well, Brian, I came to CSU in graduate school way long time ago, probably before you were born. And I had a great experience here at CSU. I got my PhD, and I always wanted to come back. After I left here, I went to Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois, and then I did a stint in the investment banking business. But I missed academia, and I was fortunate to get an opportunity to come back here in the economics department. And Steve and I came back about the same time.
And Steve, I know John was one of your professors and kind of set you on a path from the studious side.
Really did. I came here to play football. I wasn't sure what I was going to do academically, and at times I look back and I was kind of floundering around. I took Dr. Olienyk's class, and just the light went on for me. And there's nothing like having a great professor, and I was very fortunate, and ended up getting my degree in economics, and been a friend of John's ever since, and I was just very, very fortunate to have him as an instructor.
Yeah. John, how about the type of student that Steve was?
I was very fortunate to have Steve as a student.
I challenged him.
I got into this business mostly to try to do what I can to make a difference for people, and for these young students, and try to get them on a path that will lead them to do what they want to do. I came from a small town. I grew up in a family where my father completed the 8th grade, my mother completed the 10th grade, and so I didn't really have any role models as far as higher education goes. But my parents both really appreciated the value of higher education, and they encouraged my siblings and I to take all the education we could stand, and so they supported me all through my graduate work. My father even ended up at age 85 getting his GED, which really? I'm pretty proud of.
Wow.
But it's a very satisfying thing when you can work with young men and women and try to help them find their way. Like I say, I didn't have those kinds of role models, and when I went to college, I kind of floundered a bit because I didn't know what I was doing there or what I wanted to do. And so I make it a point to try to work with these young men and women here on campus and try to help them figure out who they are and who they want to be, and I get a lot of pleasure out of it.
Yeah, you hear Steve mention that the light kind of went off in your class and kind of set him on a course. That has to make you feel good as a teacher, as a professor.
You can't put a price on that, Brian. When Steve makes the comments he makes, which I'm very grateful, thank you, Steve, and a student comes back 10 or 15 years after they've graduated, and they come into your office, they seek you out and say, hey, I just wanted to tell you that you really made a difference in my life. How do you put a price tag on that?
I don't think you do, and of course that's the point of teaching, to have instances like that. And Steve, you mentioned he's a good friend of the football program too.
Well, yeah, anytime you ask John for a favor, maybe on a recruiting weekend, I mean, he's there to help us, and it's just invaluable. And and John hit it right on the head. We've got a lot of descriptions for our jobs, but at the end of the day, it's helping these students, and either as a coach or as a instructor. And I've been in that classroom like we all have. When somebody's teaching you, and when somebody really cares. And like you guys said, you can't put a price tag on that.
Yeah, and as a head coach of a football program, one of your jobs is to inspire the players, and one of your jobs as a professor is to inspire your students.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tom Millers also was one of your
Tom
students.
Millers.
Dan
Yep.
Hammerschmidt.
Absolutely. my ties to the football program are deep, and they're really good guys. I can't say enough about the quality of Steve and his team, his coaches. He recruits. The players that he brings in are just delightful young men. They're hardworking. They really perform well in the classroom. These guys in the football program, I guess, must put the hammer down, because football players seldom miss class, and they're there and they're working hard, and they're getting a lot out of their experience here.
That's great to know. Dr. Olienyk, thank you so much for joining us on the program.
It's been a pleasure, Brian.
All right, that's
Thanks.
John Olienyk, professor of economics here at CSU. He's been here for 34 years. All right, we're going to switch gears here. When we come back, one segment left, we'll talk some CSU volleyball with head coach Tom Hilbert. Stay with us.
Solving real-world problems is a hallmark of research at Colorado State University. CSU's Animal Cancer Center customizes university research to fit the real world, translating groundbreaking animal cancer treatments into new therapies for human cancers. From animals to humans, the Cancer Center brings innovation and hope to cancer patients. Colorado State University Research. Local discovery, global impact.
Yeah, I like to have fun with Twitter, and a lot of people ask me, how do you come up with those humorous tweets? Guys, you're better than this. Let's go. I need something tonight. Bean burrito? Bean burrito does not get it done. Jesse, 140 characters, 140. Only a Wyoming fan would like that. That's right, Dorian, you're starting tonight, baby. Yeah, it's nothing. It just comes to me.
Well, one final segment here on the Ram Report. Brieon Roth back with you. It's always about this time that we like to talk some CSU volleyball. Rams once again back in that top 25 and once again playing great volleyball. Head coach Tom Hilbert joining us. Well, you guys are on a roll, sweeping both San Diego State and UNLV this past week. Two teams that are chasing you into the standings at 6 consecutive matches now where nobody's taken a set from you. That's unbelievable.
We've been playing very, very well, and we're doing some things that, you know, in the past 3 seasons even, where we've had some good teams, some talented teams, we are statistically playing better right now. We are much lower error, much better serving team, and, you know, there are a few things missing that I hope we can improve upon between now and the end of the season, but team looks pretty good right now.
Yeah, coaches are never happy, no matter how well you're playing. There's always places to nitpick, I know. That San Diego State match, obviously they were right behind you in the standings this past week on Thursday night, but you guys come out and play well.
Yeah, we played well, and San Diego State stayed with us till about 18 points in all 3 of the sets, but, you know, from about 18 on, we were very tough and resilient. They weren't so tough and resilient, and so, you know, they say this a lot in all sports, you got to be good at end game, and we were really good at end game in that match.
Yeah, no question about that. It set up a match against UNLV on Saturday, and Tom, this is a UNLV team that took you to 5 in Vegas earlier this year, yet you guys not only beat them in 3 sets, you do it in convincing fashion, a match that only takes 67 minutes, a little bit over an hour. That's almost unheard of.
It was, and they were hurting us in Vegas in some areas, and we challenged our team to say cover those areas, because if you can cover those areas, it's going to be a short match, and that's exactly what we did. We were able to stop what we call their junk and convert those into points. And, you know, I think at that point they felt like they had nothing else to do, and they flattened out a little bit as a team, and we just took over and really won in a convincing fashion.
Yeah, I mean, when you beat a team 25-9 in a set, I'm not first or second set of the night, I mean, 25-9 is flat out domination.
At one point it was 9-7. You know, so we outscored them 16-2, I think, at one point.
Yeah, I mean, to hold somebody at 9 in rally scoring too is just phenomenal. Well, you get Wyoming coming up this week, and has that thing been circled for a little bit?
Yes, it has. Our team's been waiting because And by the way, Wyoming is playing well. They're now in second place in the conference. They're a better team than I think people thought at the time that they beat us in Laramie. So it's going to be a good match. They're a competitive team. They bring a lot of emotion, a lot of competitiveness to the court. And it's going to be fun for fans to watch because they will get after it with us. And we have a little chip on our shoulder now.
That's a lone conference loss for you guys. Happened earlier this year. In fact, it has kind of spurred this 6-match win streak in which nobody has taken a set. Of course, one of the big factors here this year for CSU has been the junior middle Brieon Paige. She has helped the Rams to 17 wins on the season.
Brieon Paige, middle blocker. I definitely wanted to get out of California. Just coming here, I just love the school a lot and the whole team. I just got a great vibe from the team, as opposed to when I visited other schools. I didn't get that same vibe. Tom's really a good coach. He emphasizes a lot on working together, like team building skills, blocking. That has always been like a really big Colorado State volleyball tradition. Like we've always been a really good blocking team. So when we're not blocking well, you know, he's kind of disappointed. My favorite memory has to be Nebraska. And I know that's kind of cliche, but I was so excited. I don't feel like I've ever been that excited for any game. But yeah, the fans, I've never seen them swarm out there like that for any of the games I've been to. So just knowing that we have that support was just great. I've learned to just continue to work hard. Yeah, it's definitely been, you know, some ups and downs, but through it, I feel like it's made me, you know, a much better player. It's going by so fast already. I'm just gonna live in this moment and, yeah, just soak it all up.
Well, one thing you notice with Brieon Paige is her athleticism, Tom, and I know she's a player that has really come along.
She's developed a lot. You know, we've been excited about her since we recruited her, but it's just, you know, getting that athleticism into a package that works for us, and she's now doing it, and she's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. Good luck against Wyoming. I know it's senior night, so it's going to be a really special night on Friday.
It's special. People need to come out. It'll be fun.
Yep, the Rams look to get a little revenge against Wyoming. All right, that'll do it for the program here. Thanks to John Olienyk, a professor that joined us here in the program, of course, head coach Steve Fairchild, and volleyball coach Tom Hilbert. For everyone, I'm Brian Roth saying so long here on the Ram Report. Thanks for joining us on the Ram Report with Steve Fairchild. Join us again next time for more Ram action.